Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another video. I just want to start off by this video by saying Happy New Year since I'm recording this on January 1st of 2017. I also want to start this video off by giving a big shout out over to Chris at Dixieland Farm for the idea for this video. This is basically kind of in response to his most recent video. And before I get into the meat of this, um, I also want to say that I have a 6-year-old sitting over there. So if you hear any noises, it's just her playing some computer games, yada, yada, yada. Now with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this. The topic of this video is, can you be a budget audiophile, or is that an oxymoron? It really depends on how you define the word audiophile. Now, Chris in his video defined it as basically being a person who cares about sound. And if that's all it takes to be an audiophile, I certainly do fall into that category. And I don't think that would have any negative connotations, but the word audiophile also has some negative connotations, probably due to a large, well, maybe not a large, but a set of the population. Because there is a set of the population out there, audiophile population that is, that puts the sound of their system above the actual music being played, which of course is ridiculous. The whole reason you should care about the sound of the system is because you enjoy the music you're listening to and you want it to sound as good as possible. But there are people out there who just listen to their systems and obsess over how it sounds versus the actual music being played. And I think that's a pretty ridiculous and kind of fruitless pursuit, in my opinion, because I can get a lot more opinion, or not a lot more opinion, a lot more enjoyment out of listening to, Metallica on $5 earbuds than I ever would listening to, in my opinion, some boring, much more boring audiophile fare on, like, say, $1 million system. It may sound terrific, but if I'm not into the music, I really don't care how good it sounds. Um, so, and there are other people in the audiophile community who think you have to spend big bucks to really qualify to get into the little club, and I think that's ridiculous as well. So, what's my philosophy when it comes to sound and how I approach my purchases? Well, for me, I tend to buy relatively affordable gear that has a really good reputation. One of the best examples of this, of course, are these headphones. These are the Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs. They, in my opinion, sound absolutely great. Are they particularly cheap? No. You can generally find them between 150 to 170 online. That's the general price point that they live at and what they're selling for. And while that's not chump change by any stretch of the imagination, it's certainly not in the stratosphere like, there are headphones out there that cost $1,000 plus, some many thousands of dollars. And the question is, how much more performance are you getting for that much price difference? I think, like I said, I think this epitomizes the sweet spot for me. Also, there are a lot of people out there who buy, $20,000 cables for, their RCA interconnects or speaker wire or whatever. And that's just, I don't know. My philosophy is, because I've read up on that kind of stuff, and it just doesn't seem based in any scientific reality. The cables that I choose to purchase for my system were sold by Blue Jeans Cable. And basically, if you really review what they're talking about, they talk about solid engineering practices when it comes to transmission of signals over cable, and basically they try to kind of make things that are made to broadcast or studio quality. And honestly, I think that's going to be good enough for a home system. I don't think you need exotica for your home stuff. But That being said, if you really are into super expensive equipment, that's fine. I just don't think it's a good place to spend your money. And personally, I like to hear stories of people who managed to snag gear at great prices. For example, my father-in-law, my father-in-law recently managed to get a few pretty good audio products at really cheap prices. He got a fairly high-end Sony boombox for $5 in an estate sale. I've listened to it. It sounds, for a boombox, it sounds absolutely stunning. And he managed to also pick up a full Kenwood component stereo system, CD player, tape player, you know, the whole 9 yards, speakers, the whole thing for a whopping $10. And I did some research online. If you put all those components together, used, they're selling for about $400. That's amazing, you know. So that's really how I view, you know, autophilia or philia or however you pronounce it. I I think it's just good to do research on what you're buying. Try to get a good deal. I think spending huge sums of money on audio stuff is just not a good idea. And I think absolutely you can be a budget audiophile. Buy used if you can. If you can find good stuff used, buy it. You'll get it way cheaper. Another example of something that I bought, or an example of something I bought used, of course, was the cassette deck that I have in my system. I got it for $20 at Goodwill, and it sounds great for a cassette player. I also got a $20 graphic equalizer that adds an immense amount of enjoyment to the system. So anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I really want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, what your philosophy on approaching this stuff is. If you agree, disagree, whatever. Just let me know. Anyway, if you did like this, please thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks a whole lot for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.